Aviko, and we have set a very nice webinar for you called Driving Sales Through Culinary Concept Innovation, aka Stephen Lucy, Aviko representative and one of our favorite chefs, will be showing us how we can increase sales in restaurants through innovative plates and tips and tricks that he have prepared for us. Hello, Stephen.
Hi everyone. Thanks for having me.
It's always our pleasure.
Okay, fantastic. Okay, well look, hi everyone, and welcome to the webinar. Thanks for joining. Thanks for taking the time out of your busy schedules to spend a bit of time with us to talk about concept innovation and how Aviko can help you. Um, like I said, I'm Stephen Losi, and I work within the global innovation team at Aviko, and I'm based in the Netherlands. I work closely with chefs and operators across many countries, each with their own traditions, flavors, and food cultures to help them grasp the opportunities that we can provide, but from a chef's perspective. So, what connects all of us, regardless of location, really is the same challenge. How do we create food that excites guests, respects culinary identity, and still performs commercially? And today, we'll explore how culinary concepts, not just individual dishes, allows us to do exactly that. So, using our products as a flexible foundation to bring added value and innovation to your food operations.
Okay, that's amazing. I'm going to go on the background. I just want to say again, thank you. And to motivate the chefs, if they have any questions, please write them in question and answer section. And with Steve, we will meet in the end of the webinar and we're going to do a session. And if you are following us from Facebook, there's going to be a little quiz. Everyone can get certified. So I'm going to leave the camera to Stephen Lucy, and I will speak with you soon.
Okay, thanks. Okay, so this session is really designed specifically for you, chefs and operators who are deeply passionate about food quality, technique, and relevance, but at the same time, commercially aware, customer focused, and realistic when it comes to menu writing and how it relates to your day-to-day operations. So, as it says here, by the end of the webinar, you'll be able to sort of understand how the concepts translate into measurable sales growth. You'll learn how to turn global flavor inspiration into structured menu ideas, and we'll explore how our products support you as building blocks, so not hindering your creativity. And lastly, we'll understand how we partner with you to deliver value beyond the finished plate. So, as chefs, we're trained to create great dishes, but in today's global food landscape, you can't do it all, right? And the industry is really in the middle of change. And we all know this, right? So, firstly, the industry is still trying to recover since 2019. Millions of workers left during COVID, and a significant percentage didn't return back to our business. Hospitality had the highest permanent exit rate of any major sector, and we're still feeling the effects of that today. So currently, the global hospitality industry employs more people than ever, but at the same time, the proportion of people choosing to enter the sector has declined over the past decade. So it's creating quite a large labor gap. Additionally, there's been real and documented cultural shift among chefs globally. Uh, the change is not universal, it's not complete, but compared to, say, 10 to 15 years ago, expectations around work ethic, pay, mental health, and your work conditions have really changed significantly. And I think if you've been in the business long enough, you've really seen that change. So But at the same time, we as chefs, we've not lost our work ethic. We're redefining it. Commitment is no longer measured on how much we suffer, but whether the work that we do is valued and sustainable. So, with these facts in mind, how does this connect your jobs and how can a company like Aviko help you to overcome the growing demands and challenges that you face day to day in your kitchens? Well, we Avico adds value by helping chefs deliver consistency, speed, and quality without increasing pressure on your people and your labor costs. So we can really support you, and I'll just run through these really quickly, but we can support you by reducing your workload and stress through our reliable products and potato solutions that save you prep, saves you labor, and saves people getting burned out. We improving cost and margin control with consistent yields. We have portionings that we can help you with. We have predictable portionings. We the fewer skills, dependent processes. It's all crucial in understanding understaffed kitchens, really. Supporting menu simplification and flexibility, and enhancing working conditions as less intensive prep means, fewer longer shifts and lower sort of stress in kitchens. And acting as a partner rather than a supplier. So offering inspiration, what we're doing today, product development input, which we can do a little bit today. And really, we're working on operational solutions that align with today's demand for sustainable people first kitchens. So to sum all that up, really, I'm talking about how Aviko helps chefs to do more with less. So still protecting quality and creativity while responding to modern demands for a better working conditions and sustainable operations. These things are, the reality of kitchens of today. We have to do more with less. It's always been like that, but I'm telling you, it's gotten even more extreme over the years. Okay, let's dive in a little bit. So a great example that I really that I use frequently is our gratins. And if Kuhn Smith is on this, he's going to laugh at this picture. But really, look, as chefs, most of us have experienced the time-consuming task of making gratins or potato dauphinoise, whatever you call it. But you know what I'm talking about, especially if you're shaping them for a plated dish. If you've made these, you also know that depending on your potato variety, the amount of cream you use, the chef preparing the recipe, consistency can seriously suffer, and you need the gratins really to maintain, just the right amount of ingredients to hold its shape and to behave like we want it to during service. This is not easy, and it seems like an easy dish to make, but it can go wrong. And if you've made these before, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So look, our gratins, it removes all risk of that happening. It saves you days of work. And if you shape and you make them properly, you know what I mean. And it also provides you with a really consistent product every time. So additionally, thing I think is really great about this product is you can add your finishing touches to showcase your style of cooking. So being able to have the trust that it's not only a great tasting product that your customers will really like to eat and they really enjoy it and it tastes good, but your cooks really can save time and they can work on other things. So today, in today's market, our customers and global diners are more adventurous than ever, right? But they also expect authenticity. So most successful menus today, if you look across the board, they take global inspiration. Uh, local relevance is really important to people. And for us as chefs, also, it's about operational realism. So potatoes are globally familiar, but how they're seasoned, how they're topped, and presented really varies dramatically and provides you as chefs a massive opportunity. So, for example, if you offer your customers fries on a menu as a side already, using the same product, you can add a loaded fries offer that would bring significant revenues to your bottom line and make your owners and managers and everybody really happy. And taking advantage of cross utilization enables you to use existing items in your kitchen to build a loaded fries concept without adding additional stock levels to your inventory and without adding too much work to the chefs or the cooks in the kitchen. This is a big one. So, for example, if you are, let's say, a smokehouse barbecue concept, right? You could you have side of fries, but you can also turn that into a loaded fries concept by loading it with pulled chicken, barbecue sauce, coleslaw, pickled jalapenos, but you're charging 2 or 3 times the price without with adding little to no work to your crew. So, and also the customers will love it. They'll perceive that as added value, and they're going to go crazy for it, right? So the first step that you want to think about is to start with the right fry. And we definitely have you covered there, okay? So we have fries that hold crispness under sauce and different toppings. Has surface areas for flavor cling, so sauces and toppings sort of kind of hang on to the fry and doesn't slide off and act crazy. And it maintains integrity for guests dining in, delivery, and takeaway. So those are also very important things. And that's about the crunch, it holds the heat, all that sort of thing for whether you're just doing service or if you're doing something that's getting delivered to houses 20 minutes away. Secondly, and this is really important as well, I talk about this all the time. It's building flavor in layers and not piles. So I know we're talking about fries here, but great loaded fries are are kind of thought through. Use the existing ingredients you already have in your kitchen, but think through the how you're going to do it. So it's not just dumped on there. It's you give a bit more thought to it. So for example, some simple guidelines to help you with this, okay? So when the fry comes out of the fryer, you want to add a one thing you can do is you can add a base seasoning while they're still hot. So this could be, of course, just salt, what we normally do, but it's also dependent on your concept. So you can be a little more creative. So for example, you can use a seasoning that connects with your concepts. So such as a fajita spice blend if you're doing a Southwest theme, or an Asian spice blend if you're going with some kind of cool Asian theme like what you see there in the picture. The next step is to add sort of a primary sauce. So again, try to stay with the same theme or use combinations that really work well with each other. Okay. Then add your core topping. So if you're doing, again, we talked about it earlier, an American barbecue theme, this is when you would add your pulled pork or your burnt ends or your brisket or whatever you're doing with that. And lastly, you want to add that sort of final layer of texture. So you want the crunch, you want acidity, you want freshness. This could be, again, with the barbecue theme, it could be coleslaw, it could be the jalapenos on your Southwest theme. It keeps this way, it keeps sort of every bite balanced and really intentional in what you're trying to achieve with the dish. So next, you want to really limit the components for speed and consistency, because most of you that are going to be doing these kind of loaded fries, it's got to be fast, right? So think about sticking to say between 4 and 6 components or ingredients. And secondly, what I think is really most important, for me as a chef, I use items for loaded fries concepts that are already in the kitchen. And we did touch on this a bit earlier with cross utilization, but this is where you're using the ingredients to offer something your customers really want, but without spending more money on the ingredients and without adding loads of additional prep to your cooks or to your coworkers. So, and lastly, really with this one is just avoid anything that slows service or needs special handling. So just make it as simple as possible, but keep in mind the kitchen flow when you're building the dish. Think about how it flows. So loaded fries should always be sort of assembled once out of the fryer, really under 90 seconds. It's a quick build. It's out of the out off the pass quickly, and it's to the table. It's still piping hot. Everything is still looking great. Um, you want it to also be able to be easy for junior staff, executable for junior staff. And you want to make sure it's consistent and that you deliver the same results every time. The next thing is you want to um, anchor concepts that to sort of familiar flavors, right? So what sells best globally are recognizable, sort of comfort-driven profiles. So again, if you were on the last webinar that I did, I always touch on this one, and this is this trend that's kind of been around for a bit of time, and I don't really see it going anywhere because we love it, and it's that classic reinvented, right? So this is when you take sort of a nostalgic or comfort food dish in your country, and turning it a little bit upside down. So you're not serving it as it would normally be presented, but you're using the familiar flavors and maybe some of the cooking ideas and all that sort of thing, and presenting it in a way that gives your customers a sense of familiarity and comfort. So, but as a chef, sort of thinking outside the box. So, for example, think about shepherd's pie in the UK or low and slow barbecue in America or a fish and stew from Brazil or even what we do a lot of the times is sometimes in the summer we think of a Mediterranean like a Greek salad, a loaded Greek salad concept on loaded fries. Think about ways to introduce these classic items into your loaded fries concept and use your creativity, use your creativity from the region you work or knowledge you have or the theme of the kitchen that you have in your establishment. And just remember that familiar flavors do feel indulgent to people without asking the guest to think too hard. We don't want them to we don't want them to think too hard. You just want to put a plate of food in front of them and they love it, right? But you, as a chef, want to make sure that you can do that fresh, fast, easy, and repeatable every time. Okay. Balance, you want to make sure also to balance indulgence with contrast. So loaded fries shouldn't feel heavy halfway through. You get halfway through it and you're like, oh God, it's just too much. Um, Always try to mix it up and include items like well, usually there's like two or three things I always try to make sure I add to a loaded fries, and that's like an acid. So things like pickles, kimchi, lemon, jalapeno, peppers, whatever it is, right? Something that gives you that sort of acid taste. Then you're looking at freshness. You want to make sure that it doesn't feel stodgy, it's too heavy. You want to bring that sort of freshness. You could do that through different slaws. You could do that with scallions or spring onions. You can do that with fresh herbs. And then also with loaded fries, always for me, there needs to be that crunch, right? So you're going to get that crunch from some of our products like the Super Crunch and all that. You're going to get that fries already going to have that coating on it. So when you bite into it, it gives you that crunch, but you want to kind of add that extra layer of crunch. So it could be things like crumbs, seeds, dried onions, that sort of thing. You want to think about acid, freshness, and crunch because this really boosts that sort of eatability and it perceives you for your customers, it perceives quality, really. They think they're getting an absolute bargain with a bowl of fries that you've loaded, right? So design the dish always for menu flexibility. I think this is also very important because we did talk about flow. We talked about using additional, ingredients that are already in your inventory levels so that you're not adding more cost. Um, but be smart on your loaded fries build, right? Be smart and advertise it to keep it flexible. So, for example, you could do you know, you could have shared sauces and toppings across the dishes. So whatever, let's say you're doing, I don't know, you have some sort of special sauces and stuff that you use for other dishes. There's no reason why you can't cross-utilize and use those sauces for your loaded fries concept. Um, but again, using existing kitchen ingredients, what you've got hanging around, that is key. Um, think about also turning the dish into a sharing platter. This is something we talk about a lot within the business, but it provides customers really, it gets them excited, right? It gets people excited. When I go out to eat and I see that there's a sharing platter and I'm with friends or family or something, I want to share. I want to share that moment with everyone. I want everybody to kind of share the same experience that I'm having. And people really like to share. Some cultures don't, but some people do. And if that's you, then definitely a sharing platter. Again, the price goes up. Your prep and your execution during service, it's no different. You're doing the same work, you're doing the exact same execution, but you're bringing more money to the bottom line and you're offering your customers something that they're going to be really happy with. So bear that in mind. Also, loaded fries is a really, really good way to drop in LTOs or limited time offers on your menus. So maybe you're doing a special of the week or a special of the day, or you've got some kind of seasonal special that you want to get out, or maybe you have something in the fridge that needs to get used, right? Then that is the time. Okay, here we go. We're going to do a loaded fries concept and we're going to sell it for more money and we're still going to make our customers happy and we're going to add more value to our operation in our restaurant or hotel or wherever you work, right? So it makes it overall really a really powerful revenue builder, not just a trend. And that's also something to bear in mind because we have a lot of flexibility with the loaded fries concepts. And just remember that it's something that can bring more money to the bottom line quickly. And it's just not a trendy item. It's here to stay and it's for you to use. Okay. So some of the questions really you should ask yourself when it comes to building a loaded fries concept should be, and I'm going to touch on a few things. Might have already talked a little bit about it before, but a few things I want to make sure is clear. Does it stay good after 5 to 10 minutes? Are you able to, after 5 minutes, are your fries still crunchy? Is it still the quality that you expect it to be after 5 to 10 minutes of sitting under the pass or sitting on the table out in the restaurant? I said this earlier, but does it still eat well halfway through? So does it become too stodgy? Is it too much food? This is something to sort of think about. Try it yourself as a chef, make it, create your idea, and then eat it and think, yeah, this is great. Or you know what? We need to tweak it a bit, or we need to reduce some of the ingredients, or whatever that looks like for you. That's something I would certainly recommend. And again, can it be plated consistently at your busiest times, right? So when you're in full speed and you are like head down and it's service time and you're cranking them out and the the tickets are everywhere, are you still able to put out a product that you're happy with, right? It's really important to think that. And if it fails to do that, if it fails to meet your standards, then change it. Try something new. It's endless possibilities. Okay. So remember this too. The strongest loaded fries concept combines the right fry. We talked about that, which we've got you covered there. So you don't have to worry. We've got the right fry for that. Fries, we've got several actually. Uh, restrained layering. So be careful with that. We did touch on that. Familiar flavors and kitchen first practicality. So indulgence never comes at the cost of service or consistency. It's really important. But it provides, you want to provide reliable texture and holding performance, um, neutral, adaptable flavor profiles, and formats that invite customization. Because the potato is kind of a blank slate, and what you do with that is it's really endless possibilities. And it allows you as chefs to focus on where creativity matters most. So we can provide you with a product that you can trust and that you can work with and do different cool things with. But this opens you up to then be able to add that flair that is your signature. So that's seasoning, saucing, finishing, and the storytelling piece of what you're trying to accomplish. And our products really adapt seamlessly. So we're allowing, we make sure to allow for the culinary teams to express that regional cuisine and what means the most to you while maintaining a consistent product. And that's what we're really here to help you with. So take our hash browns, for example. So this is where culinary creativity meets strategic menu design, because if you're like me, hash browns usually tend to be something that you see at breakfast. If you're at a Hilton and you go down and you have breakfast in the morning, you're guaranteed to see hash browns down there. But uh, culinary concept innovation really allows chefs to translate big ideas into something that's consistent. So that can be executed across, that can be executed across locations, different teams, service styles, that sort of thing. And similar to our fries and what we've talked to up to this point, our hash browns definitely provide you with a platform to initiate your signature style with our product as a base. And so does our mash. Um, our mash is fantastic, but we provide you with a delicious, wholesome, quality base to work with. So it's something that you can trust. So our products are really designed to support you, not replace craft. And that's important to remember, right? We are providing you with a base mash that you can heat up and eat, and it tastes really delicious, and it's been passed and it's seasoned, but you can add whatever you want to it, and it'll save you loads of time, consistency issues, everything. And you can add whatever flavor you want into that, and it's going to bring you what you want to make from it. Um, so similar to the loaded fries concept, the mash has what I've just said as well, a really diverse capabilities to really be finished with um, anything that you think of. And actually, over the summer, we had a chef, David Schneider. He's in the U.S., based in the U.S. He created this dish for us over the summer, and it was fantastic. So, Dave, if you're on the call, if you're on the webinar, thanks for that. That was really fantastic, really great innovations there. And again, it just proves the fact of taking the base product and turning it into something that was just superb. And again, over the summer, we had a lot of chefs come. We worked with a lot of chefs with our products, and we kind of we created a lot of really cool innovations. But we gave our mash to the chefs, and we had an Italian chef with us, and we asked them to create something that represented them or her. In this case, it was a female Italian chef, and she created gnocchi out of our mash. And this is a real picture. This is exactly what she made, and we just snapped that photo there. And it was fantastic, and it works. So think outside the box, right? The mash, it's a good base and you can add whatever you want to it and serve it with loads of different things, but you can also do things like gnocchi. So I want to just touch with you on this slide because it's important, but because it gives you kind of a bigger picture on how we think about um, when we develop products as a company. And we focus on three pillars. So desirability, the first top left one, and product innovation really refers to how strongly a product solves real needs. So needs, but also wants and aspirations in a way that customers genuinely value and want to adopt. So you can ask yourself really without the definition, do people actually want this product? Is it something that people want? Do they need? Do people use it? And feasibility, really, in product innovation, it refers to whether an idea can be realistically designed, produced, delivered, and supported using available or attainable capabilities within things that are constraining us. So, in other words, can we make this and can we deliver it to you guys so that it works and it's feasible? And then lastly, the viability piece. Again, from our standpoint in product innovation, when we're creating these products, we refers to whether an idea can generate sustainable value for the business over time. So, is it financial, which you have the same, is it financially worth it? Is it strategically and competitively? Is it competitive? Is it strategic? Is it worth it for the business? You have to ask yourself these things. Um, in the same note, from your point of view, so taking the same idea, but aligning it to a chef or an end user, or if you're the one frying, right, or making the menus, from your perspective, basically, you should think about flavor identity. So, what cuisine or taste language is the concept really speaking about? Um, Format and functionality. So, is it shareable? Are you plating it? Is it handheld and people are walking around with it? Can it be delivered? Can it hold its heat? Does it keep its crunch? All these sort of things, right? Does it hold under the pass during service in a way that keeps it the quality that you're looking for when it actually hits the table for the guest? And then consistency and scalability. So, as it says, can it be executed every service, everywhere, every time? And when these three things align, then creativity becomes commercially sustainable. So bear that in mind. It's something to think about because at the end of the day, you want to make sure that it makes sense, it's functional, and it can be executed. And if you can combine those things, then more than likely, and everything else we talked about with cross utilization and all that sort of thing, then you're looking at a really commercial stability. Okay. So also, I'm going to touch on this. I'm not going to spend too much time on it, but it's important for you to understand that, yes, we're a potato company. We specialize in fries. That's our main love, right? But we also developed a burger range, and it's important to bring that up because they're fantastic products, and it would be a shame not to share that with you. Um, but our burger range gives you really control over speed and consistency. So the burgers that we have, they eat well every service, even under pressure. So we've got three burger ranges. We've got a black bean burger, we have an edamame burger, and a falafel burger. These products are really fantastic base for you to add your personal creativity. So, for example, this slide, uh, it doesn't, when I say burger, right, it's the patties, but you don't have to be restricted by it just being a burger concept. So lately we've been taking these and, for example, these are our falafel burgers, and we left the bread out, but we loaded it with a Greek salad, like I mentioned earlier. And it works and it's delicious and it's easy and it's fresh and it's tasty and it just everything, it ticks every box. But some really key points to make is that with this product specifically is they're forgiving, okay, in real kitchen conditions. If you forget it for 30 seconds in the fryer, it's okay. It's still going to taste good. It's still going to keep its integrity. It's still going to taste nice and hold a nice consistency and all that sort of thing. Um, when you load it like this, it really holds its structure. It's not going to become soggy and disgusting and mashy. It's going to hold its thing. It's still going to have a crunch and it's going to deliver that consistency that you want to keep in a product. It also reduces dependency on skilled labor. So if you were to have to make this falafel burger in the same way that we have done, um, it's a lot of work, huh? It's a lot of prep and it's a lot to do. So just it really reduces the labor piece there. And also another one that I know is big and on with all you guys and all you chefs, it's waste control without killing creativity. So again, zero wastage. You have a base product that you can then just like jazz up and chef up any way you want. That's not going to kill your creativity. And it delivers indulgence. That's what we said earlier with the customers. It's providing them with indulgence, but without heaviness. So these burgers, they're not heavy. They're not sitting in your stomach like a rock. They're like they eat well. They eat well. From a chef's perspective, it's a really nice thing. So if you happen to see those around, give them a try. Okay. And also, if I've talked about this loads of times, we also do churros. Um, and these churros are phenomenal. And I'm just going to spend a few slides and talk about the churros quick because it lets you run a great dessert offer with zero risk, zero risk. If you've ever made churros, you know they're delicious and they're great, but there is a level of risk. And there's also a level of consistency, doing it during service, pain in the butt, like it's really it's not easy. So um, this provides you zero risk. It's fast, it's consistent, and it's always indulgent. So I absolutely love building concepts around these churros because it's neutral and the loading possibilities are absolutely endless. And if you've ever seen a presentation that we do at Aviko with our churros, we probably haven't done the same one more than 2 or 3 times. We must have done hundreds by now. So it's absolute whatever you think in your mind you can serve with the churros, it's possible. So we've also got, it's important to note that we've got small straight churros that we have, not just these big XXL ones, but we have small straight ones. We have ones that work in just ovens, others that you can fry. We have a loop shaped one, and we have these XXL large ones. All of these products, right, offer easy flavor customization, speed during service, and again, zero waste and zero stress trying to cook it during service fresh churros. Um, but something to really point out is that the churros are really made with you in mind, and they're built for really serious real service pressures. So they hold their heat, which is important to mention because they really do hold their heat and they hold their crunch. So I've had churros sit there. We've cooked some before and we loaded them and we let them sit for 20 minutes and you pick it up and it's okay. It's not hot anymore, but it still holds its crunch. It still tastes good. It's crunchy. It's crispy. It's delicious. It's the way it should taste. And your guests will really love that sort of hot, crunchy. Again, I'll come back to that whole shareable dessert, right? That can be completely tailored to your menu, your cooking styles, your flavors, whatever you want. You can do with these churros. And again, it's that indulgence that your customers, when they eat it, they're going to just absolutely love it. And that sharing thing that we talked about earlier with the platters and all the sharing platter. It's the same with these churros too. Just something to bear in mind. But also when you think of churros, you automatically, me included, you think sweet. But sweet or savory. Who's to judge, right? Because the churros is when you get it, it's a neutral taste and you can go either way with it. Um, you kind of automatically think sweet, but really we've been creating amazing loaded churros concepts with both sweet and savory, as you see here. I also just really quick want to touch on a snack range because this also coincides with the concept culinary innovation piece of what we're talking about today. So if you've tried our snacks, you'll know that they're first class. They are. They really are. They're first class in flavor, texture, which is important always, and quality. And they're just consistent every time. Our R&D team or our the team that we have that makes all our snacks, they are absolutely the best. And from a chef's perspective, the taste is absolutely second to none. Um, all our snacks are consistent, they're delicious, and can be used in multiple applications across menus. Our mozzarella bites, the cheese is salty, the outside is crunchy, it's seasoned perfectly. I mean, they're just and they're forgiving in the fryer. You know, they're just absolutely fantastic. So, if you ever see our snacks and you're keen, then just give it a try. But they're also designed for what we talked about earlier. I'm going to touch on it again, but it's that togetherness, that sharing culture, grazing, social eating, and simple menu development around social dining trends because uh, most customers, again, like to share, right? And again, when designing your menus, the sharing platters really, it increase spend, it simplifies your service, and you can really create a social dining experience without adding extra stress to service. Now, I want to touch on this as well because, again, it does, believe it or not, have a lot to do with concept innovation and what we're doing as a company. Because at Aviko, we see ourselves as part of the culinary world, not just as a manufacturer. So I say that because we work with chefs and end users and cooks and everybody on a global platform to understand real needs from you so we can create valuable solutions to support your business. We believe really that the best results come from collaborations, and we partner with equipment companies to provide you with solutions that help you to streamline your operations. So we create added value solutions that are um, operationally driven. So from a chef's perspective, from a cook's perspective, from whether it's a kebab shop or a Michelin star restaurant, it doesn't matter. We're chef driven. We understand the chef. We understand what you guys need. We're also very guest focused. So we want to make sure that um, your life is easier. We're adding value to you, but also that's translating to the guest. So the customer is feeling the benefits of your um, your solutions in the kitchen that we're helping you with. Because ultimately, it adds a value through being commercially sound. So, for example, our partnership with Rationale Ovens, and most of you, when we had a webinar the last time, I think it was almost 85 or 90% of the people on the call last time we took a poll that actually have Rationale ovens in their kitchens. So we know that our partnership with Rationales, it's a perfect example of how working with other companies to help you to deliver to you um, added value. And really, our products work seamlessly with Rationale ovens, and we help you get the best possible result from it. Every service, every site. So whether you're a small little cafe or you're a football stadium doing 10,000 meals in 2 hours, um, this works for everything from there to there and in between. So we've designed, tried, and tested these programs that allow you to cook Aviko products perfectly every time and with just a push of the button. So if you have a rational oven in your kitchen, please reach out. We want to be able to help you. Let us know that you'd like to have the programs loaded in your ovens, and we can make that happen for you. So here's some key takeaways that I want to just highlight quickly so that let me just check the time. I think we're good. But there's a few key takeaways that I want you to get from today. And that is culinary concepts give structure to creativity. However, bear in mind how you can add value to your customers without additional costs, because that's a big one, right? And it's going to help you to make more money. Global inspiration works best when operationally grounded. So think of your teams, the prep required, and the flow of service during when you're developing loaded fries concepts or using our snack ranges or whatever you're doing, the burgers, the churros, everything I've showed you today. Just bear those things in mind because it's really going to help you to initiate really amazing concepts, keep all the bosses happy or keep yourself happy with not only the consistency, happy guests, etc., but more cash to the bottom line and higher revenues. Um, and just remember that the products enable consistency without limiting your expression. So we provide you with a fantastic and reliable and delicious base product that you can finish in ways that represent you and your concept and what you're trying to achieve in your restaurants. So also remember that we partner with chefs to deliver value far beyond the plate through equipment partnerships and resources to assist you to be successful, to be profitable, and to help you bring joy to your tables wherever you are in the world. So just the last slide, I just want to really thank everybody for taking this time out of your day to um, join this global culinary conversation about not only about Aviko products and how we can help you and all that sort of thing, but wherever you are in the world, just remember that innovation starts with how we think about food, not just how we cook it. So think about that. And we really look forward as a company, we really look forward to continuing the conversation and working together with you to shape the future of food, because that's what we're here to do. And we're here to do it with you. And I have this on the screen now because if you follow me on LinkedIn, it'll certainly I can provide you with all the latest and greatest when it comes to potatoes and how Avico can add value to your kitchens and what we can do for you, and just some really cool inspiration that we throw up on LinkedIn all the time. So if you're on LinkedIn, then go ahead and connect with me. I will certainly connect back and we can collaborate together through what we talked about today. Uh,
Amazing. Thank you very
okay.
much,
Oh,
Steven.
yeah, I know that was a bit long-winded, but there's
I
still a
want to
lot
say
to
I
say
kept so
about it.
much
But
notes, and I'm not even a chef. Like I'm not gonna go tomorrow and apply, but I still felt like okay, I love potatoes as a product.
yeah,
Some of my comments, so basically, I see that a lot of people are asking about can we get the recipe? Can we get a recipe? As we have said in other webinars, the format and the structure we have here doesn't allow us to share recipes. But please follow Chef Steven in LinkedIn. This is where he shares all his plates, and you can reach out and ask, like, this is how we came together to this webinar. Basically, for 1 year, I was following those plates that we saw today. Now I'm hungry, basically, after everything you
we're all
described.
starving now. Yeah.
Yeah, so just please follow Steven and you get in contact with him for more ideas, more ingredients that can fit. One question I have is like, for example, what is the most typical sauce that can fit with loaded potatoes?
Anything you want.
Yeah.
Literally anything you want. And we have done everything. I mean, look, the way I look at it is this. If you have an idea in your head, you start with a theme and
Hmm.
take that theme and kind of work around it. So for example, we said Southwest theme earlier, right? And we've done it quite a few times with Aviko and presentations and stuff. If you're adding on there sour cream, you're putting a pico di gallo on there, you're
Mhm.
doing, I don't know, fresh guacamole, you're doing, you know what I mean? Like you might have a
Mhm.
cheese sauce, you can hit it with a cheese sauce, almost treat it like a nachos, like you'd have a loaded
Yeah.
nachos, but use fries. Use our super crunch fries because they stay crunchy, even, even better than nacho chips,
So
tortilla
this is
chips.
one of the comments I kept. Can your fries really stay crispy even after you put the sauce? Are you, it's a product compiled to stay crispy even after you load it with sauce and you deliver it to people's home. This is like fantastic because this is the problem. If you deliver and take it at home, they're gonna get soft most of the time.
Yeah, all the time. They will all the time. Look,
Hmm.
I mean, I'm not saying that if you load fries and it sits in a Deliveroo bag for 45
Yeah,
minutes,
of course,
you're
of
not going
course.
to have a soggy mess.
Yeah.
But the trick is what we do is we add a coating on the fry so that it protects the heat resistance and it also gives you that sort of crunch.
Hmm.
And we have really good results with how long we can hold fries
Hmm.
even when they're loaded.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
know from a research I did there are over 220 potato varieties in the world.
Yeah, it's
Imagine, and
crazy.
I assume that you use a lot of them in Avicol, like
Yeah, we do.
for your
Yeah,
work. Mhm.
absolutely. Yeah.
Another concept that I really liked was the cross utilization. And this is where my opinion is, for example, you say here, be very careful to not promise the same thing every day. So this can be an amazing place to be inserted as a menu of day or to be marketed as with seasonal ingredients,
Yeah.
loaded potato with seasonal ingredients. And these consumers will love it. Like the word seasonal will always play the trick.
Always. Yeah, definitely. And
Uh,
it plays for you also to your advantage because, take the churros again, for example. If you're loading churros, you don't
mm,
want to put fresh strawberries on a churros dish in the middle of February. You want
yeah.
to, it's a summer thing. And it's cheaper to buy and it's more sustainable and it's just the right thing to do.
So for churros, this is I've traveled everywhere and I really like churros, but I've never saw salted churros. Is this like a concept that you experimented yourself or you saw it somewhere? Where were you inspired to put this concept of salted churros,
Oh, savory churros.
savory churros?
Yeah, you know what? It was I think I was somewhere and I saw churros and I saw it with like I'll tell you what, it was like a stroganoffy sort of like beef tippy mushroomy sauce that was over it and I thought, are you mad? What are you doing? It's churros. But then when I started eating it and looking at it and thinking about it, I thought, well, of course, the churros are ours specifically are a neutral product.
Mhm.
So there's no salt or sweet, but it's just a straight base. So
Okay.
you can toss the churros in a sugar cinnamon mix and it's a sweet dish, but you could also hit it with a flavored salt and add, you know, lemon zest and whatever you want, Asian seasonings or that stroganoff sort of idea that I saw before.
Mhm.
And it works. It's hard to wrap around your brain, but it
Yeah.
really works and it's delicious. Yeah.
But as always, and I want to reemphasize it from my end as well, it's always about you can make it with a lot of taste and make it amazing, but it's always about the product itself. So if the potato stays crunchy or the churro is good prepared, it's always about the.
Yeah,
So in this
it
case,
is.
you're
Yeah.
saying that Aviko is a very good choice about this, and we have to take your word for it. So,
Yeah,
uh,
and I'll tell you another thing because I know a lot of people on this call will be at the Congress in Wales.
yeah,
Come and see us. We'll be in World Chess Village and we'll have products there.
yeah.
We're going to have our food truck there and we're going to be doing loaded fries and we're going to have stuff for you guys to try. So be sure to come and see us at the World Chess Village. We'll be there and you can see for yourself.
Amazing. And you're gonna, as usual, you're gonna share samples because this is what you do in
Definitely. Yeah,
Thailand.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Of course
And
we
you
will.
can, people can eat a full meal just coming and walking and talking
Yeah,
with.
just come and see us and we'll take care of you. You will not be hungry.
Mhm. I have a last question, which is very Nice one. How can culinary business balance innovation, what you talk today, with brand consistency, what they're offering, especially knowing that they have already a loyal customers?
I think I think if especially if you're building good relationships with your customers, they're
Mhm.
coming in, they have certain expectations, and you've been delivering that for them, and they're repeat customers. If they're repeat customers and they're coming back, you've already built that trust with them, haven't you? So they're going to come back because they want to have Chef Aya's famous smash burger every time because you know that you can go there any day and it's going to be the same thing and it tastes delicious. And so you're already 90% there. So if you've already gained your trust with your customers, then you can start introducing something specifically like the churros or snack range. You can introduce those things slowly through limited time offers or seasonal specials or something like that. And you can gain the trust to a point where the customers are just going to come in and say, whatever's on the menu, I'm down because I know it's going to be good, right?
Mhm, mhm,
So we can help you in that way because we have a product that you can trust that's going to be the same every time, and you sort of understand what you can do with that product, and you can continue that sort of trust and that relationship with your customers so that when they come in the next time, you might say to them, hey, we have a new churros going, give it a try, and they're going to do it and you won't disappoint.
mhm.
So you
Someone
can,
is asking for your LinkedIn, so I'm just gonna put it on the chat. And I have a last question, actually. So basically, the same person that asked this question elaborates a bit more, and she's like, she or he. So I'm gonna sum it up. Their approach is that you explain a lot of different potato varieties, like mashes or gnocchis and everything. But they're like, how about other categories? So I assume what they mean is they may be from a side of planet where potatoes are not as used as in, for example, Europe or America. How is your brand in other? How does, if you have any insights, like how do you cope with other continents
yeah.
that potatoes
Yeah,
are not?
yeah. So look, we have a factory. We have a presence all over the world. We're a global
Mhm,
company. So the best thing for you to do is to get on our website and have a look and see if Avico is in your country. More than likely it is.
mhm.
If you're uncertain, drop me a message in LinkedIn, and I'll certainly get back to you with somebody that you can speak to that can help you further.
Okay. Well, we are in the last minute, so thank you very much for this webinar, Stephen. It was super interesting, and very practical, specific but super practical. I have a comment here saying thank you much for your effort, and a lot of comments in the chat that you may just read now, like thank you, thank you, thank you from everywhere in the world.
Fantastic.
With Steven, we will meet each other personally in May in Wales. If you guys want to register, just go in the World Chefs Congress website, register, and we can all meet there. This is the beauty of the Congress. It gathers up to 900 chefs in the same room, and it's an amazing pool for network, either with other colleagues like chefs around the world or with people like Steven from Aviko who can provide you solutions. This is super fantastic. You provide solutions for chefs to be more efficient in their kitchens, and this is something that it
Yeah,
should not be overlooked.
absolutely right. You nailed it. Yeah. Well done. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you. And we have another webinar probably this year, so we're going to see each other in Zoom again at the second part of the year. But for the moment, Steven, thank you. And